right, my friends, welcome to the Ron Sobrano podcast, right? This is episode 6, talking to Auntie Gloria Nahalea and Uncle Bill Nahalea in the state of Washington. Enjoy the next hour. Okay, Auntie, how you doing?
We're doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Okay, so we're recording, we're live. Okay, we're talking to Auntie Gloria and Uncle Billy. Today is what is today? I don't know what day it is. Tuesday. Okay, so how you guys doing? Uncle, Auntie, how you guys?
We do one of our favorite things, and that's eat.
Yeah, I saw the picture. But
Yeah.
Wajimaya, you guys went.
Yeah, Wajimaya is a cool little Japanese restaurant here in Renton.
Yeah.
They've got other two locations, one in Beaverton, Oregon, and another one in Bellevue.
Mm.
And so since we're in the Renton area, had to go and get my tire fixed. I had a nail in it. Well, it's just right around the corner from Wajimaya. You got to do what you got to do, right?
You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
Yeah. So the food court was calling. So we decided to have a honey sesame chicken and chicken mushrooms with noodles and vegetables.
Good.
Yep. Any more, Ron? Bill and I just have it. We always split our meal now. It's part of our being able to dine and eat whatever we like.
Right.
But having some portion control.
I have dessert. That's right.
What was that?
Bill says, because we got to have dessert.
Oh. Yeah, I gotta get the. I remember when I was up there a few months ago. You guys took me through. What is that? Wendy's or Dairy Queen? Because the discount meals had the milkshake or the ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
That was
This
cool.
is a good. That's a good benefit of being a retired is because you got to cruise around and see. And Dairy Queen has that burger or chicken strips, chicken tenderloin with French fries and a drink and a sundae, either a chocolate or a strawberry sundae.
Right.
Didn't you love it?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah. We went there like twice. Yeah. I remember sitting under the tree in the parking lot. That was cool. I like that. Really casual. It had the double cheeseburger, fries, and something else. There's like 4 items actually, right?
Yeah, it was. Then you had a drink with it.
Yeah.
And then the dessert, the sundae.
Oh man, that's the way to go. You gotta get.
So we're trying to figure out whether we're gonna have some mochi or they've got those sesame balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah, you gotta get them, Uncle Billy. You gotta treat yourself. Now that you guys retired, pretty much, enjoy life.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't seem like I'm retired, I actually have retired, and I'm really enjoying it. I am embracing this moment in our lives.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah. So you're gonna talk about your touch base on you guys' lives right now since I talked to you guys last.
Well, since we last talked with you, we're living in those times where a lot of our friends are having to deal with all kinds of different life challenges. Yeah, they're either getting laid off of their jobs, where they've been aging out.
Yeah.
To a certain age, and folks who've been working for forever, 20 years or so, their salaries have gone up, and so when companies are kind of cutting back, one of the first places that they cut are the ones that are very experienced and can run the entire company, but they've maxed out their income.
Right.
And retirement, so they're the first ones to be let go.
Sad, yeah.
So it is sad. So that's been happening. So a number of our friends have had that to deal with, or um, having to have their own personal health issues, or families that are there's that kind of like a sandwich generation. They're between raising their kids and taking care of adult parents, and then having them suddenly pass. It kind of puts kind of a damper on their lives, and they have to kind of deal with that. And I know that when that happened with me, these same friends had rallied around me and did a lot for me during the times when I really needed it the most. And sometimes it lasted. I mean, I know with me, it lasted a good several months before I could kind of get out from under that and start to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of my friends who was helping me out back in the day, that just happened to him. So for us, we dropped. He called me, and Bill and I just dropped what we were doing. Fortunately, we're retired and don't have a schedule, so we could just go. And so we've been with him for about a week and a half, helping him get through dealing with estate settling and just the tons of tasks that unfolds when something like this happens, right? So
Yeah.
we've had a lot of fun with him. We've had to kind of go over stuff in his home and helping him navigate through all that bureaucracy, paperwork stuff, um, and then sneaking off to go and have a Sunday or a Baskin Robbins ice cream run.
Yeah.
It's you got to have those kinds of moments and times, but we're happy that we can be in that place where we can do that. And it's kind of like paybacks, right? People did it for Bill and I, and it's great for us to be able to turn around and do it for other friends. So in a nutshell, Ron, I'm not sure how long we're going to be here. It looks like we're going to at least be here through the weekend. The good news is simultaneously the canoe races or the canoe journey that I was telling you about the last time.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we get to sneak those in between our little tasks and errands that we're doing, and it helps him. It helps him and his sister and niece, because it takes them away from some of that doom and gloom of that, and
Right.
have a little bit of joy, and seeing that right around the corner, life does happen, and it's in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to get away from the doom and gloom.
Oh my goodness! It can really bring you down.
Yeah, there's enough doom and gloom in life as it is. You need that time to recharge and enjoy and laugh and whatnot.
Well, when you're reflecting back too on life and the passing of somebody, you look at their lives and how it was, et cetera, et cetera. And unfortunately, sometimes in our lives and in our world, we have to let go of junk in our lives, including not so good relationships.
True.
Being able to check and see, this one never was uplifting for me, or I was always down, or this, they might have been always, if you're looking at a glass that's half full or half empty, it's always a half empty, or, oh my gosh, this happened, and just complain. Well, Bill and I've actually been reflecting on that, and we've had more joy because we've had a chance to enjoy friends and family that we wanted to connect with.
Yeah.
That gave us a lot of laughter or giggles or adventures that some of us seniors probably shouldn't have been taking. And we can just laugh at our own little foibles and stuff like that. But that's what comes when you're reflecting on someone's life.
Right.
Bill and I have been trying to figure out. We've had more joyful times when we can let go of that Do you know that we realize that folks who've had, like a stroke survivor or caregivers or folks dealing with just life challenges, sometimes we can find ourselves in that place of not realizing you're attracting some of that toxicity.
Yeah, yeah. Like you become a
And then,
magnet or something.
yeah, and then when we let it go, other things are manifested in our directions in a much better place.
Yeah, yeah. You got to learn to like prune the tree, right? Prune the plant. Get rid of the dead leaves or the dead branches.
Exactly.
New ones sprout.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then there's this thing I wanted to share a little bit because this is a real thing that happens to those of us who are retired.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget about time and how much time can just slip through our fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we're looking at the things we want to get done, like completing some of our incompletes,
Uh-huh.
we have found ourselves like not wanting to do it. And then something happens and it just kind of lights the fire under your butt and you get going on it.
It's a trip, yeah. How the mind works. You got you got something planned and it kind of fizzles out and then something lights the spark again.
Well, you and I were talking earlier about how we have this great plans to accomplish this. We're going to be going somewhere. Bill and I like to go to the Starbucks or over at the library by our home, but we're not at home, so we're not going to the library. We're going to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Well, when I go to the library, there's a computer there,
Uh-huh.
and it's kind of the whole atmosphere is getting something done, getting your reading done, working on your computer, doing whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now translate that to when we go to Starbucks. We're kind of looking at the goodies that they have on their display cases. What scone are we going to have, or what cookie?
Yeah.
And then we sit down. We're going to enjoy that for a moment. And then pretty soon, my long list of things that I wanted to get accomplished, if I had just focused on it, I might have gotten part of it done. Instead, I might be good getting one thing accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the time, I've just been enjoying our coffee and snacking. And then I go home, and on the way back, I'm like kicking myself, going, oh, doggone it, you were going to get this done, and you were going to get that done, and you were going to get that done. And then now I've got this vicious cycle going on, going, okay, I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And then a week goes by, and I haven't done some of those things. So I've discovered a new trick.
And what is the trick?
And it works. Well, you share with me. You were talking about the school.
Oh yeah, yeah. Back to school. Yeah.
Yeah. Share that little story.
Yeah. One of my buddies was we were talking about like how sometimes myself I would go to Starbucks and I got something that I got accomplished, so I go online. You buy a coffee, you get the free Wi-Fi, and he asked me one day like, did you accomplish what you had to? Because he's one of those guys, kind of like a life coachy kind of mentality. And I go, you know what? I was there for like almost over 4 hours, and I accomplished maybe like one thing that I had to. And he was just kind of like briefly saying like, when we were in elementary school, basically when we were young growing up, and you had maybe math for 1 hour, and then you had social studies for the next hour, and you had recess. And he was kind of making a point that maybe I was like just too focused on like too focused or not focused, both of them at the same time. Or when I get distracted, I can get back to the task. But so he was saying like, concentrate on like one subject for like just 1 hour, kind of like if I was back in school again, and try not to be distracted. So like if I gotta, maybe look at what I gotta do tomorrow, you know, and really nail it down and focus on that for 1 hour instead of like knowing that I got like 4 hours at Starbucks, and then I start messing around, looking at YouTube videos, stuff that I'm not supposed to. But just really focusing on time, and you touched on that too. Like you said you started to like put on your iPhone timer, right? And
Yeah.
focus on just what you gotta do. And even if you had like 5 minutes to try and finish something, you set your timer. And I think when you do that, you get more focus. You get more laser focus when you only got you're allotted so much time instead of like, oh, okay, I got 4 hours at Starbucks, and then I don't really focus because the highway is wide, it's wide open, right? But if you narrow it down, you're forced to focus. If that makes sense, like your time is limited, so you gotta do what you gotta do in that amount of time instead of in my mind saying I got 4 hours or 3 hours or whatever, but instead I should like just be more focused on the time to focus on certain subjects, if that makes sense.
Yes, in
Yeah.
fact, you were talking earlier about checking out your YouTube and stuff you're not supposed you shouldn't be doing because
Yeah.
you had another task at
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Well, I accidentally did that, and I found this a YouTuber that was talking about time and managing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, I forgot all about this, but she had mentioned that in a week's time, we have like 168 hours
Right. Right.
available to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then she subtracted sleep time, work time, shopping and taking care of household goods and preparing meals, etc., etc. She came up with only having really in a day maybe 5 hours of free time.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm spending an hour of it on YouTube and maybe another hour of it chatting with friends and people on the phone with, just random whatever kind, now I've got down to maybe 3 hours. And if I wanted to be able to watch a TV show or something like that, well, I might be down to only 1 hour that I can get something done towards a project I needed to get completed and things. So what I realized was that my time had shrunk so much that in order for me to be able to complete anything, I had to kind of play a game with myself. I can reward myself by getting some work done.
Right,
Okay,
right.
so I started doing this new trick. I'm timing myself. I started off with doing 15 minutes of projects. And I realized that in 15 minutes, I could get done something in 5 minutes instead. So I switched up. I went to 5 minutes. What can I do? And I play a game with myself of, can I beat the clock? And it's actually helped me, to get through like doing dishes and throw a load of wash in and maybe do a vacuum and all of that. I could get it done in less than 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
If I really focus and get that done, what I would have taken maybe an hour to clean my house, it could be shortened.
Yeah.
And then when I was telling you about reading, getting back into reading, like my Harry Potter. By the way, I'm all done with the entire collection.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So in order for me to be able to read, that was my reward time. So if I can shave off in an hour, so I can have 20 minutes to sit down and read, cool. So I busted my butt for 2 weeks doing that, and it actually works.
Yeah. Managing time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think
So my
in your case it can be hard because your energy level might go down even if you did say, well, at 4 o'clock I'm going to do this, but because you're always multitasking, not just in your mentally but also physically too. So how you find that energy, like say maybe 5:30 you're going to do this or do that, and you just kind of like, oh man, I was going to do it, but my energy's not there right now. So how you deal with that?
To be truthful, when I was younger, I had a lot more energy.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't. So I literally have to just listen to my body, listen to my mind, listen to myself. And if I have to just sit for 5 minutes or 20 minutes and just close my eyes, I do try to take a nap. I have found that because I have been doing more nap time, I can fall asleep and recharge in as few minutes as 5 minutes.
Wow.
Typically, it's a good 10 to 20 minutes. There are times when I know when my body is, especially if I'm doing a lot of mental work,
Yeah.
Creating or thinking or planning.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more tired mentally. So it might take me a little longer than that. And, I used to feel like it was a waste of time. I found that it's not a waste of time at all. Because if I'm recharging, it's like going to the gas station and fueling up. If I can take that moment to do that, I can actually come back and accomplish a little bit more. I may not get everything I want to get done in a day, but at the end of the day, before I shut my eyes, I'm oh, sorry. It's a gift department call.
No worries. I can
But
still hear you.
anyways, sometimes what I do, what I have learned, Ron, is when I've done that, I can gratefully thank myself and God for helping me get finished what I needed to get done. And I figure, you know what? If it wasn't meant to happen today, it's going to be happening tomorrow, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of letting up on that. I'm not being as hard on myself on those things. I am trying to find a time to just take moments of time just to kind of get out and smell the roses. I know for Bill, because he doesn't drive and can't get to where he wants to go, we have found that we've tried to make a little bit of time every day to just get out and get to the car and walk around and drive around and stuff. Oh, I got to tell you, that man, I got to tell you a progress report.
Okay.
I was thinking that he wasn't getting any better. I'm looking at him because I'm wanting to find these profound signs of improvement. And sometimes it just doesn't happen until I least expect it. So we were doing this little gig at the senior center, the senior home.
Uh-huh.
And, I have a little cart that I load everything in and then wheel it into the stage area, and then all of my stuff is smaller and lighter now, so I can just fit it into this little cart.
Yeah, right.
So here Bill's going in his wheelchair, and I'm pulling the cart, and we get it out there. We set it all up. We were having an issue with our sound speaker. I'm getting frustrated, and Bill grabs it from me. He says, "Let me try and see what I can do." Well, within 5 minutes, his magical fingers, everything is working.
Right.
So he plugs in the microphone. He plugs in he gets the mic stand all set up. He gets my music stand all set up. And I'm tuning up my ukulele. Well, he's putting out all this time and energy helping me out, and we're ready to go 20 minutes before we had to play music. After the show was done, we piled it up and loaded up, and he was helping me put it in the cart. So we walk out of the stage area, and I had to go Lua. So I take off to go do that, and Bill says, "Oh, well, I'll just wait for you." Oh no. He grabs the wheels, he grabs my little cart. Now he's only got one arm and one hand that's functioning. The other one kind of is there for looks. And so he grabs it, and I come out of the Lua. My cart and Bill are gone. I'm thinking, what the fuzz? Where did he go? I'm looking around, and I look out the window, and I see this guy motoring along with a wagon behind him.
In tow.
He's towing it. And so I get out to the car, and here he is. He's sitting out there just cruising, managed to get it all to the car. And so all I had to do was just load it in. And when I saw him, his first response was, "I knew you'd get mad at me if I did this, but I didn't want to tell you, so I just thought I'd just show it to you." I was like, it was a moment that was like an aha moment, that I don't have to hover over him as much, and that I can allow him to have more independence because he can do it. And he happened to be in
Yeah.
that higher energy time,
Uh-huh.
and he was able to do all of that, and it was like, oh my goodness. So those are wonderful moments of growth and progress that Bill has been showing more often than not.
Right. Yeah, he's just determined, that's why.
Oh, he decided he was going to go shopping. I hurt my back loading up his wheelchair,
Yeah.
but he wanted to go. He wanted to go to the grocery store. This is after he did the towing of the wagon.
Right, right.
So we go to this drugstore, and he needed to pick up some stuff. And he looked at me and he says, "You stay here. I'll go in and get it." Now he's only walking around with his cane. He doesn't want me to take out the wheelchair because I had kind of tweaked my back. So he goes in. 10 minutes later, I'm thinking I better go and check in to see where he's at. And gunfun it, if he wasn't running around in the aisles picking up his things he had. He didn't have a cart, but he had pockets.
Uh-huh.
So he's putting products in his pockets so he could still walk around with his cane. By the time I showed up and I saw him, I thought, oh my God, he's going to get arrested because people are going to think that he's
Shoplifting.
But the cashiers all were watching him. They're going, wow, that's pretty innovative that he can figure out how to shop without having a shopping cart and walking around with a cane. So by the time he gets up to the cashier, he's offloading his pockets, And that was really cool. Again, like I said, that was, innovative on his part, thinking and figuring out how he was going to be less dependent on me or anybody else. And I was like, it was another aha moment. So that day I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I loved it.
Well, that's good that he, the initiative, takes the initiative and common sense, old school, Hawaiian style, yeah. I mean, when you
Oh,
look
yeah.
at it, it's like real. A lot of times when you tell me these stories, it's just basically the will to do something and common sense, kind of like old school growing up, yeah, in Hawaii, right? Right, your parents or whoever that's older would just tell you, well, go figure it out, and you would,
Yeah.
right? Nowadays, it's like the kids are different. They get babied so much. Oh, poor
It's,
thing, you couldn't get it. Oh, no, like when we were kids, we were talking about this with my cousin one day. You're 5 years old, you get on the bike and you go to the store already. You
yeah.
get cuts, you get pus. Stop crying. You know what I mean? And it's just the will to just he just goes. Uncle Billy just goes and do it. Both of you. It's
Yeah.
just common sense. You gotta go do them. You go do them, right?
You just go do them.
Yeah, no more water. Well, what are you gonna do? Just stand there and cry? Like the kids nowadays. Oh, let's go figure this out. No, you let the
You
kids
know,
go figure it out. And you guys been, ever since the stroke, all your stories are inspirational. Like, go figure it out. You talk to people, there's going to be an answer somewhere there, instead of, you just sitting there not doing anything. But that's amazing. That's the, is there a video of Uncle Billy with his
no,
thing,
I
towing the basket?
no, it wasn't. It wasn't because he did it so quickly and so fast. However, I thought I would do a reenactment
You can.
of something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can. You can. Yeah. No one's gonna know. A lot of times, yeah, I watch all these true crime shows. It's all reenactment, but you know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I guess that's kind of like you could make it a crime because he kind of just took your stuff. Nah, nah, nah. Just
You,
joking.
you know,
Just joking.
you know what?
Just kidding.
You've seen what our lives are like, and it's interesting because from my perspective, um, I'm the eternal optimist, anyways,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna want Bill to completely heal 100%. And every single time we've heard different responses from different doctors. This last doctor that we talked with, we had to do a Zoom meet because Bill had left some necessary prescriptions at home. And, it's 3 hours away. So we decided to call and get a renewal here in our area so we can pick it up. Well, in the meantime, we was talking to this particular doctor, and Bill was having a lot of pain. And we thought that his nerves might be regenerating.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not sure. She was very, very emphatic that maybe it would never come back. But I think she was saying that so that we wouldn't have false hope.
Yeah. Right.
And just kind of accept it and deal with it. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't, you won't get that disappointed.
Yeah. Just being real, right?
For real.
As
It
a
is
matter
for
of
real.
fact, yeah. Just being
Yeah.
factual and honest.
Yeah. And there's things like I was talking to our friend Sue, who, by the way, was really helpful with pioneering and videotaping the first of the canoe journeys back in the day. 1993, I think, is when she started filming them. And she was one of the first ones to film it because she showed it on her native TV show that she was airing down in Olympia. Well, in any event, she and I were talking about, friend to friend. She has had to deal with a caring, being a caregiver herself with 3 people: her husband, her daughter, and her mom. Here I am complaining because I'm having to complain about one just with my hubby.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there just like, oh, woe is me. I was having a pretty good party, pity party. And she joined me on that one. And I was really surprised because normally she's very uplifting. This time she didn't. So the two of us, the 2 sisters, are sitting there crying the blues. And we're saying, oh, my goodness sakes. I would just love to be able to hold hands.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, me too. I thought she was going to talk about her husband. She says, my little girl, just to be able to hold her hands.
Yeah.
And as we start talking about that, we realize that isn't a doom and gloom. It is just a fact of life.
Yeah.
And that we just needed to kind of embrace it, know that's the feelings we have, and to let it go, and to figure out another way, to have those kinds of feelings restored. And so after we had a couple of giggles and realized how bad we were at our pity party, we decided to fire ourselves from the pity party and move on to start laughing about our own little foibles, about what she has to deal with on a regular basis and what I have to deal with. And we had a few giggles because we realized that it is what it is. And here to be in that place, it doesn't feel good in the first place. And in the second place, there's nothing we can do about it. And so really, the best thing that we can do is just call on one another and help each other out of those kinds of moods, and then begin to just giggle and laugh about how we deal with our own frustrations.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of really good laughs about that.
Yeah, you gotta laugh.
Oh, yeah. You gotta laugh.
You have to.
Because really, in the end, then I sat and, because Bill was listening to our conversations as we're doing all of this. And I realized I don't want him to feel that he's the cause of my feelings, because he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And what does he feel? How does he feel about all of this? And I realized that he felt worse about it than I did, because all he can do was just totally accept it. And that's, by the grace of God,
Uh-huh.
that Bill can do that with the gentleness and the kindness that he always still shows.
Yeah, that's awesome. Humanizing. You guys are humanizing. That's what you guys doing.
True.
Yeah. And
That's
yeah.
absolutely.
So these stories are important, I think, because even my circle of friends and associates, and everyone that I know that talk to me, they're I would say 40 plus up to what 70s, late 70s, and everyone has some kind of issue that you're dealing with. A lot of it is physical health, but you know what? As we talk about this before, Auntie, anytime you have a physical health issue, it does become a mental health issue. It's guaranteed it will, because why? Let's see, you got like my brother has sciatica. Well, it affects him mentally because now he can't do what he used to do. Gets
Mm-hmm.
him depressed or sad or whatever. You get somebody that found out they have a heart condition. How can it not be a mental issue after that? You know what I mean? So right now, I hope once you get your podcast going, I think it'll do good because let's say you and Sue becomes your guest. There's somebody's gonna hear what you guys talk about, and it is going to be valuable because I say anyone in their 40s now, 50s, 60s, like me, 70s and whatever, that's when life really starts to change, I think, where you know it gets more serious, in other words, um, especially with the health, both physical and mental. And a lot of people who don't have any physical challenges, they have a lot of psychological baggage, man. A lot of people that I know that they're healthy, they do yoga or whatever. Oh, okay, you're good to go, but they tell me, man, they got a lot of stuff happening, man, in the head. No matter what they say, they do meditation, blah blah blah. There's issues, there's family issues. One chick was telling me she's got this, her relationship with this one dude is going cuckoo. You know what I mean? It's like, so everybody has something, and that's why I really stopped watching all the crap on like social media. Not everything, but the smiley guy, the smiley girl. Everything's good. No, it's not. Reality is it's not. That's a illusion that they're selling. That these people are great. Look, they're smiling all the time. Well, that's just the camera on them for that one particular time, and they're putting it on TikTok that lasts what 30 seconds. And that's a lot of BS. That I call it BS because they're giving people like false reality, and people are buying into it, and they're getting more depressed. So when you talk about like what you just talked about or what Sue went through, that's like God's reality. Life is not perfect. You're gonna find uh, you're gonna find heartache. You're gonna find illness in people and the recovery. That's just reality. So nothing is all smiley and all rosy. That's why I don't watch that stuff on TikTok and Instagram. The smiley guy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're traveling all over the world. Oh my God, 1 million likes. Nah, that's just an illusion. The real people will tell you, no, man, life is effed up, and you gotta find a way to get out of your depression or whatever, and like you were saying, that's just reality. And you and Sue try to find time to laugh, and that's just real. That's real stuff you talk about.
Well, here's another one, and that's and I'm saying this because of the fact that my friend who is dealing with settling the estate,
Mm-hmm.
he's in a position. He's only 53, and he's in a position where he's been on a disability since he was in high school.
Right.
And so in his situation, when his dad and mom and stepmom were living in this home, he was able to live with his dad because he was helping his dad who had congenital heart issues.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like caring for him. Well, then, time has passed on, and he was a mechanic, and his health declined, and of course he passes away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he has one of the things that, before he passed away, his dad and I had talked about a will for this my friend, and I was bringing it up to him, but because he had that disability, he didn't want to think about that. He didn't want to even approach any of that or any of just it was just too much mentally.
Oh yeah,
And
it can drain
I
you.
literally, I literally had to sit him down and say, no, 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 you've got to do this. Your dad wants you to do this. You've got to follow up, and the only one that can do it is you. I can't do it. I'm not a family member. I'm not blood related. And so we walked him through it, got him an attorney. He managed to do it all, which I was really proud of him. Amidst his challenges, he did it.
Yeah, amazing.
Fast forward to today is when his stepmom passed away. Now he has to deal with a complete everything with a home, and now he's got to think about where he's going to live. What's he going to do? How is he going to live? And I started thinking about folks like someone in the group that I get really concerned about now is the ones that are between 50, 55 to about 75, 80.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because number one, they've got more things against them, as far as the employment and going back into the career of working.
Yeah, I know that
That's
one.
an issue. Yeah,
I
that's
know
an
that
issue.
one. Oh my God, I know that.
And it's not just them, but other folks who have aged out. I was talking to, there was 3 of Bill's caregivers who have had to go into caregiving because their professional work that they were doing ended up not happening anymore. And they were, again, part of that group that, they're very vital people. They have got, they can get another job and do all that, but they're finding they're in the same boat. They're competing against some of the younger ones and people from just getting out of college. And their industries have changed.
Oh, it's changed drastically.
Drastically. And everything is being done online. And when you're online, some of the job offerings aren't even real. It's just a way to get you on another mailing list or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you navigate through all that? So then we were talking about, okay, like in Bill's and my case, we're looking at alternative ways of living. We can't live in a home that's got stairs anymore.
Yeah.
Where once we could, now we can't. We're looking at not a huge amount of yard work anymore, like what we used to be able to do. Now we can't.
Yeah, you want to like downsize it, simplify.
Yeah, downsize, simplify. So we on YouTube there's been a bunch of different YouTubers that are talking about the mini home communities living, and for elders who not necessarily in a elder community, large facility buildings, but more of independent tiny house kind of communities.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that is a thing. People are looking at something like that.
Oh, it's huge.
It's
huge.
It's much more. Yeah. It's much more affordable.
I mean, yeah. When people, yeah, if I could interject real quick. See, I know some words, huh? my uncle L, his I shouldn't even say his name, but my uncle, cat's out of the bag. My uncle had his girlfriend, and she passed away, but she had a nice property, and that's all I'm gonna say, cause you can imagine a really nice property, and he told me he I guess she left some stuff for him, but he says that he just gonna give it to like her daughters or her kids, And I go, hey, Uncle, man, well, you score, He goes, nah, he's getting older. Of course, he passed away already, but when he was alive, he was like probably in his mid 70s at the time. And he's like, nah, it's too much work, Ron. Number one, she has a pool, she's got a big yard. I got to hire all these guys to maintain it. He goes, nah, my days are done with that stuff. So he just moved into like right outside, in Honolulu and right in town, someplace. I remember we visited him, and he just had this 1 bedroom condo. And he goes, "Well, man, if something breaks, the maintenance guy, I pay for him. He just come in and fix it." Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So in that respect, it's there's just a lot of changes in the way our world looks
yeah,
and in how we want to be able to navigate. So now that's been something that as we do our holo holo and adventures around, we've actually taken a look at those places. And on YouTube, they've got a bunch of different ideas, van living, RV living, maybe converting a school bus, looking at the, tiny houses. I mean, they're looking at places. We've been seeing some that were like 400 square feet, 350 square feet down to up to maybe 800. And, that's looking pretty appealing as we take
yeah,
a look at that, because especially in our situation with Bill's managing to operate around in the house, he does not need to have a lot of square footage. We need to be able to, be in the kitchen, maybe sit around a table, have a place to sit down and watch TV, and a place to go to sleep, do our laundry.
yeah.
I mean,
That's all you need.
that's all you need.
Hmm.
The bathroom needs to have one of those walk-in kind of bathrooms with something to be able to sit on. It's like, man, we have really simplified the way we would be living looking ahead.
And doesn't it when you think that way, like a load is off your mind, kind of,
Oh
sort of.
yeah, yes, because it's not hundreds of thousands of dollars now.
Hmm.
Bill contacted somebody in Oregon, and a build out on those things are anywhere from 18,000 to 50,000, depending on how fancy you want.
Right.
Well, guess what? On folks' fixed incomes, if that is what they can afford, you know what? It could be doable.
Yeah, it is
On their
doable.
limited, it
Very
is very
doable.
doable.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're going to actually explore that. So maybe the next time we talk, maybe we will have had a chance to take a look at a couple of these places. We did look at a couple of the community centers or community mini communities. There's
Yeah.
one over by Chehalis, and we drive by it every time we're going up in north south, and we took a
Yeah.
look at that. And I tell you what, it's not a bad way to live. We
No.
took a peek at the house, and I thought, in the way we live, shoots, we did not need to have the family room and the basement and an extra
No.
garage and
No.
an attic, and
Well, when I was there, didn't you point out, or was it Deborah? We were driving around. It was around that the battleground area, I think, or maybe it
yeah,
wasn't, but I know it was the last trip. And somebody pointed out these little homes, like it was pasture land. I don't know where it was. Maybe it was you that pointed out. And yeah, something like that. And it was like a little, wasn't even a subdivision. There's like maybe 10 little homes, like really
yeah,
tiny. And they had like
yeah,
one carport. And I
yeah,
was thinking, yeah. And you tell me, yeah, it's real dirt cheap. Yeah, and
yeah.
yeah, those things. And I looked it up online. There's like a multitude of ways when you can live on the cheap and you can have your own space.
Exactly.
Just gotta explore, I think. Which you're doing already, which is awesome. You know.
We're exploring it because we never really thought about it.
Yeah, yeah, you're too caught up in life and doing what you had to,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah,
But now that you have the time and really zeroing in on, what should we do now? Should we live like this? I mean, you just mentioned it. I mean, as simple as we can climb the stairs anymore. Yeah. Or you
Well,
still can,
I
but
was
it's
kind of
yeah. You think
I was
about
kind
those
of
things.
doing the math. You're gonna love. You know how my mind thinks, anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were doing. We did a farmers market. For a couple 2-3 hours. I think I was there. Maybe 4 hours. It was a 10 to 2 kind of a thing. And for 4 hours, I was selling. Bill and I were selling this Kelly's gluten-free bottled teriyaki sauces.
That
And I
looks
had a
good,
few.
actually.
It really is good. And so I had a
I'll
few.
just pour it on my rice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you need.
I would
And
just
then
drink it. I would just drink it. Give me the bottle, Auntie. Give me the bottle. Drink them.
It's good on noodles.
Oh,
Noodles.
I bet.
On spam musubi, you can dip it in that.
Oh, stop it! I'm getting hungry. Stop it.
Top ramen, you can do some with your saimin.
Oh, just on the noodles, yeah. Just on the noodles. Oh, jeez, Auntie. Oh, put some sesame seeds on top. Let's go. Chop some green onions, yeah.
Exactly. And so we were at the market, and at the end of the day, we had just seen. I was looking at how could I actually afford to raise enough money to pay for a little mini house for 25 grand.
You could do it. I know you can.
You realize that in a year, if I were to do a 2 of those little farmers markets a week and make a couple $100, say $250 at each time, that's 500, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I do 100 of those, dang.
Well, here's the thing with you, Auntie and Uncle. When you have your devotionals and you pray about things, I swear you guys bat like 1,000. like honestly, when I tell my friends, I think Gloria and Uncle Billy, they're just praying. Oh, they need one truck. Some guy offers them a truck. You know what I mean? You need something fixed. There's somebody come around. Oh, I'll fix that. I know how to do it. I have no doubt that you guys can pull it off. Oh, by the way, we got about 5 minutes left, Auntie. Sorry, but
that's good. But that's basically today was just kind of a ramble of how life works.
Nothing wrong with that. Rambling is good.
Yeah. So Bill has something he wants to say.
Oh, Uncle Billy.
Yeah.
Thunder. What's up?
Yeah, you heard. I know. That's what kids should do. I like that.
We got her.
No, seriously.
We got her.
Seriously,
Make one cat. That's your brand, Uncle Thunder.
Yeah, I know. I like that. I can mark it all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure. But you know what? I like the fact that you and Auntie Gloria have been talking about, this thing, and you've been being really religious out there pushing this, yeah? But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
As a whole, I think people that have been to what I've been to don't really understand that we are people too,
Yes.
And I like you, and you've been with me. When I go in the shopping center, how people come and they cut me off, and when I'm using the cart to buy something, going my way, because you know what? They're not where I'm at. They don't have a disability. But I think, and I'll end it kind of quick. If they went to the same thing that I went to, or millions of people went to, they will understand why they get upset, and why at me, you know me, when I'm inside the line, I talk to people. I tell them how's everything, if they're disabled, I tell them don't give up, keep on going.
Right.
Because life ahead is rough for everybody, no matter for me or Auntie or you.
Yeah.
Life is rough.
Yes, right.
But it depends on what situation you're in, and if you want to stay there.
Right.
For me, bro, you know me 40 years.
Yeah, I
cannot stay on place. I look at life as a challenge, and I want to take it on. So from that number, mahalo. Thank you so much. And I'm going to talk to Auntie.
Mahalo,
And you
uncle.
take care, bro.
Yeah, love you, uncle. Yeah, Tanda. Love you, Tanda. Okay, Auntie,
That's a
said
little
that.
inspiration from
Oh.
from Bill.
Yeah, Uncle Billy, that the tough Hawaii, Nana Coolie boy, watch out. Yeah. Well, Auntie,
Well, this was good fun.
this was good. Yeah, you was it wasn't rambling. You were talking about life, and that's what I love about having you and Uncle Billy on. You know, it's 6 episodes of the RS podcast, and you so far just you and Uncle Billy been my special guests. So hopefully, you know, you're gonna be like maybe an advisory role. Like when I get it going, you know, you can listen in, or I'll get the Zoom going, and you can chime in on like my other guests, and you can coach them. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be really cool.
Right, like I'll get some young Kumuhula, and she's having a bad time. I go, oh, I get the just the right Auntie for you. Yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah. Okay, Auntie. Well, yeah, I gotta cut it right now. So thanks for checking in, and go finish up eating your plate lunch from Uwajimaya. Uwajimaya.
We'll do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
we'll see you again soon.
Okay, love you guys.
Love you too.
Okay,
Aloha.
aloha. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was Auntie Gloria and Uncle Bill Nahalea. Actually, they are in the state of Washington. We had a little talk story session, and hope you enjoyed it. Episode 6. I'm building the podcast. More guests, more interesting people coming on soon. Interviews, and who knows what? Maybe cooking, maybe some music. We're gonna build it. It's all about feeling good, all about healing, all about learning about life, learning about the ups and downs and how to overcome them. Pretty much that's the theme of my podcast. And just enjoying life, learning to enjoy life and be happy when you're down in the dumps. Also, I'm not getting paid for these videos, but if you like the video, you like this podcast here on YouTube, my Venmo QR code is right here on the screen. You can screenshot that and buy me a cup of coffee or whatever. That's good. Or send me a gazillion dollars. I'll take that any day. All right, guys. Take care. God bless. Malama Pono. From Uncle Ron, Brother Ron. You guys take care. God bless.